Holy moly, dragons. Wasn't expecting that, huh? Welcome back to Street Style episode number 3 with Renee Brune, your host, Brune Media. So since I'd last made the last video, I had some nice feedback from a few people. However, I have some sad news in the sense that Derek Quinn, aka Skinny Mr. Skinny, you might have seen his photographs on one of the last videos. I'll show one now. Unfortunately took ill and he passed away, with his funeral being yesterday. So rest in peace, Derek. Some very sad news. I know him a good 10 years, lovely guy. But I've immortalised him in my videos and photographs. So we'll move on quickly. So what I'd like to do is, the weather's been very cold lately, so I did want to have some additional footage of going into Dublin city centre to mix in with the video of shooting in Dublin. But it's quite a cold day out and my days off have been switched, so I'm at home today, luckily enough. Grey skies, terrible weather basically. It is the 6th of December, what do you expect? So we'll go straight into it, okay? I would just also let you know that I'd set up one of those buy me a coffee accounts. I had a few friends who were saying, look, you put a lot of effort into this, you spend a lot of money on equipment over the years, and you put a lot of time and effort into videos on YouTube. Maybe people can give back. But some people buy prints, some don't. Sometimes people say, look, I'd like to make a donation. I'm not on PayPal and stuff like that, so... somebody mentioned Patreon. You have a lot of extra work to put in to create member stuff. Now, if I get a lot of followers and they look for that, I would do that. But someone also mentioned basically like a gift, a donation site called Buy Me a Coffee. So basically what you do is you can make a donation of €5, which is equivalent to saying, look here, I'm buying you a coffee. While you're out and about in the cold, taking all these pictures, get yourself a coffee on me. I appreciate the work you're doing, the time and effort. So if you feel that way, if you'd like to donate, great. You don't have to, but there's a link in the description here and it's very much appreciated. So the first photograph I'd like to talk about here is actually one of Derek, aka Mr. Skinny. This was a lovely shot. The light was perfect. I'd seen him down at our local pub at the Racecourse Inn in Baldoyle, and he's sitting at the bar as usual, having his pint of Beamish. We used to wind him up sometimes, there used to be a character called 40 Coats on Irish television, and we used to wind him up because he was so skinny, was so skinny, that he'd always wear multiple jackets and layers to keep warm. So he had a hoodie on this day, and his head was a bit cold for whatever reason, and he had the hood on in the bar, which is quite unusual. And I said, hey, you look like the Irish mobster, the general, the way he goes to the bar. And I don't know if he goes to the bar, but, he doesn't like being seen out in public or photographed or anything like that. So he'd always have his face covered. So, yeah, Derek has his hood up, and the images are so sharp. He has his point of Beamish there, and you can just see like every crack and wrinkle in his skin. I'm going to try to zoom in on the shot here so you can see this. It's crazy the amount of detail, and I really, really like that. So on to the next image. What I would like to talk about is this shot in Temple Bar. You will get people who will sometimes dress up as particular characters. Now this is a new thing in Ireland. Normally you just have people looking for money, if they're begging and fundraising. But now sometimes people dress up as a particular character, and they look for donations. So this guy was dressed up as, I would like to joke at this time of year, say Santa Claus with a different outfit, but I think he was supposed to be St. Patrick's. It was probably around St. Patrick's time, in fairness. So he just looked fairly cool with the whole rig out. There's a lot of detail again. The bushy beard, is just so much detail in it. You can almost count every hair, and he has the old crook. I think that's what they call it, the old crook, with the rosary beads and everything around it. Which, in the old days, all the old pictures, St. Patrick, etc., you'd see that, so he has that. So it looks legit, I have the tones. I pretty much like my black and whites to look black and white, not grey and white the way you see some of them done processed in camera. So, I like the tonal layout of the image, it's nice. The next image is of a Brazilian girl. Previously in the video I had a picture of some guys met up at the junction box near Middle Abbey Street, and one of the guys was eating a 99 ice cream cone, and I thought it was very cool. Just like old school vibe. But then this girl came cycling along with her headphones on, the big sunglasses, and she was on an old retro style, bike. I think they're not called a High Nelly. There's a particular name. It's like a postman's bike. And I just thought she looked kind of cool. I said, hey, any chance I could take your picture? Now, normally I wouldn't say that unless there was a very good reason why I wanted a proper portrait. But I wanted to snap the shot, and I was in the middle of changing lenses, and I didn't want her to cycle away, so I just asked her. I said, any chance I could take your picture there? So yeah, it's another nice little street portrait. It's not one that I would normally like to do, but I like to capture people being natural. But sometimes you do have to ask. Now, as you walk around the city, you will come across different scenes. This one again, I seem to have this thing with bicycles, probably because I cycle a lot, and my friend has this thing with bicycles. He always likes a photograph with a bicycle in it if possible. So this is a bar just off Grafton Street, PYG. I'm not sure what type of bar it is. It's a cocktail bar or something, but they have all these leather couches outside in the summer and tables, and people are just chilling out. So I was just trying to take a picture of the bike, really, the scene, the black and white shot, and the girl there with all the multiple earrings, kind of cool looking. It's just something I enjoy doing. So on Grafton Street, as I said before, you'll see a lot of buskers, etc. But sometimes you'll see guys selling costumes and wigs. And they have the guys, in the old days they used to walk around with a sandwich board. But now you'll have them, in this case it's dressed up, it's appropriate. This guy is dressed up as Chucky, who a friend of mine used to go dressed up as Chucky at Halloween all the time. So this shot was more for personal amusement. I just like it though. I think it looks fairly well. Now, this is Tara Jameson, again a busker on Grafton Street. I can't remember if I included her in the last two videos. She's an excellent busker. This was obviously a winter shot, the way she's wrapped up with a scarf around her neck and everything else. She's playing her music, and I don't know if I mentioned, yeah, she's Canadian. She's a really, really good busker. She's well worth checking out if you ever get to see her. Grafton Street is some of the best buskers in Ireland, I think. Now, granted, I haven't really been down to Cork in a very long time, and I'm sure they have some good buskers. Same with Galway. Galway has great buskers, but I think, when you get someone passionate about what they do, like the photography, in this case, it's music, you'll always see them, they just make amazing images. They're amazing characters, and I think you can never really go wrong with that, It's always something to look out for. Now, one of my night images, I don't often go in taking photographs at night time. It's more often the case that I've either been in town during the day, and I've ended up being in later than expected in the city centre. When I say town, basically means city centre here in Dublin. Or I've gone in to meet some friends, and I just happen to have my camera in the hope I might get a few shots. So this is a particular scene here outside a wine bar just off Clarendon Row. I had come across this guy who was playing a trumpet. He's Romanian, I think. And of course, the ladies are there enjoying their glasses of wine or whatever outside, and he's playing the trumpet and they're entertained. But as usual, it's not free entertainment, it's street entertainment. So he has the hat out begging for his money, and with the girl smiling and taking him back a bit. You can see the blonde-haired girl on the right-hand side as well from the wine bar. She's sort of just looking as if to go, well, you sat there and enjoyed his music, I see what's going on and pay up. And on the very left-hand side of the image is a girl who's looking straight at me, which I didn't realise what was happening at the time because I was so focused on the image. What I love about this image as well is it's very black and white. I mean, there's so much tonal contrast in this one, and everyone is pin sharp, which I absolutely love. It's great if you can get that. Sometimes you need a shallow depth of field to, zone in on the individual or the scene you're shooting to make sure that's exactly what people are seeing that you see. But sometimes as well, just nice wide open, and plenty of sharpness. I think this works very well as a street shot. There's a lot going on, you know. Finally, we'll get to my two all-time favourite street photographs. One is more of a pub trait again. This is Mark Walsh down in our local pub. He was watching horse racing. I think it was early on a Saturday, and he had his tweed cap on, you know, the old traditional Irish tweed cap. Again, looks great. I had taken this shot. There's some lovely natural light coming in from the side, so everything just works well. He was just looking up at the TV, and I snapped the shot without him realising it, and absolutely love it. And he loves it as well. I'd actually submitted it to the Leica gallery in Germany, and they accepted it. It's part of their Leica online gallery as well at the moment. It's a really nice shot, so I'm very happy with it. But we'll go to my number one all-time favourite image. I was walking through Temple Bar. There's plenty of graffiti in Temple Bar around, and as I was getting ready to go home, I spotted this picture of a skeleton, of a panda skeleton basically, stuck on a wall, and it looks like he's doing a yoga pose. So I was getting ready to frame the shot, had the camera up, you know, focused exactly the way I wanted, had the shutter half released to pre-focus and keep it sharp. And this old dear was walking through the shot, and she had stopped to let me take the image. And I said, no, it's okay. I held the camera down for a minute, but I still kept my finger on the shutter just because I knew there might be something there. And I said, no, it's okay. I'm just taking a shot. You can walk through it. There's no problem. I said, I've seen many pictures of skeletons in my lifetime, but I've never seen a picture of a panda skeleton with no balls doing yoga. And that's when she cracked up laughing. And she's looking straight at the camera as I took the shot, and she fired the shot off. Lovely and sharp. She's wearing a traditional old sort of iron type sweater, and she's the lovely white hair, and again the total contrast with the red brick wall, which red, as you know, in black and white comes out nice and dark. It's an absolute cracker. I think it's my all-time favourite street photography photo. So yeah, I'm very happy with it. Anyhow, let me know what you think. And before I go, I would also just like to mention one bit about street photography that not a single video I've ever seen on YouTube or street photographer on a podcast has ever talked about. One essential bit of street photography equipment. Can you guess what it is? Nope. Comfortable footwear. Comfortable footwear. If you're going to be walking around for hours on end through the city centre in all types of weather condition, the best thing you can do, one of the best investments you can make, is in very, very comfortable footwear. You know, I've seen girls going around with cameras, you know, and I'm not slagging off female photographers, but they're going around, but they have, like, you know, fashion shoes on. They want to look smart and fancy when they're going around. That's all well and good, but not if you're walking around for a few hours. Your feet are going to be killing you. Likewise, I've seen guys wearing old-fashioned brogues again. Nice for walking. Very fashionable. You can be one of those hipster people, you know, whatever. But a good old trainer, a runner, is ideal. It's the best bit of equipment, best investment you'll make, and a cheap investment for street photography. So let me know what you let me know what you think of the video, and I'll make some more. Thank you for watching.